Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be taking on the Mechanized Sentry level 200 LUFENIA quest as part of Cloud's Burst and LD debut event. And for this I'm going in with a party of Cloud, Keiss and Rude, with a Cloud friend and a Pandemonium summon. So you pretty much know what's going to be going on here, based purely on the fact that I've got Keiss and Pandemonium in the team, and I can't wait to get started. I'm just going to quickly go over the artifacts for Cloud, because he does have synergy for this one. I am giving him a triple 330, especially because he's going to be absolutely swimming in battery. But actually the 108 debuff attack up is not a bad artifact choice for Cloud as well, because he gets multiple HP dumps on this rework, so he's definitely going to be able to make the most of more attack as well. And it's in LUFENIA, it's kind of hard to go wrong with too much attack, if you know what I mean. And for the spheres, now, I have actually given him Waka Sphere, even though he may not actually be able to make the most of it in this team lineup. He might do with the Smash support from Keiss, but then it just goes away again. But generally speaking, Cloud Swooning buffs. He has like, I don't know, he has 3 or 4 generic buffs, but then he has his Mako frame buff as well, so Cloud's pretty good choice for Waka Sphere based on the fact that he's going to have like at least 4 buffs. And if you've got Gladio in the team, then that gives him an extra buff. If you've got like Garnet, then that gives him an extra one. If you've got Warrior of Light, that gives him an extra, you know what I mean? Like, you only need 1 visible buff on top of the 4 to have this proc at all times. I've given him Keiss's Sphere for his E slot, because Fujin's E Sphere rather. It was on Keiss previously, but I used a reset sphere and I removed it and I put it on Cloud. The reason being that Cloud doesn't really have many very good E-Sphere choices, based purely on the fact that depending on how you play him, he's hardly ever going to be applying any debuffs. Like, you'll get a paralysis once every blue moon, which means that he's not really going to be able to make the most. Like, if you want a debuff-based stat sphere, absolutely go for Emperor because it lasts for 6 turns. Otherwise, you're just not really going to want to bother with this, in my opinion. Or it's going to be something like one of the weakness ones, and you're going to need to make sure you bring like an enchant Impaler along with Cloud to get the most out of it. But because this reduces enemy speed as soon as you do a critical hit, and it applies an aura effect, so it's not going to clog up any debuff slots. So this is perfect. Like, originally I had it on Keiss, but because I'm probably going to be using... Well, I'm going to be using Cloud more than Keiss, but very likely as soon as Keiss gets his LD, I'm going to be using them together. I mean, I'm using them together now anyway. So I think this is a pretty good shout for Cloud. Meanwhile, Keiss can go for like a speed down E-Sphere like friggin' Setzers or something, or he can just go for like a stat sphere, because Keiss actually applies a debuff every time he joins in a launch, because he applies that framed debuff during the launch. So that's actually a better idea. And I've got Sephiroth the E-Sphere. Actually, I think a Brave Damage Sphere would be better for Cloud in terms of pure offense, but I gave him Sephiroth because of reasons, and also because it gives him a bit of extra max bravery as well. I'm not going to complain about that. So that's my Cloud. He's fully set up. I've got his high armor. I have got his Advent Children costume to go with the Fusion Sword. I've got everything for my man. I've got friggin' the Buster Sword NT passive, which I've managed to shoehorn in here with like every other gazillion passives that Cloud has. Like, if you take a look at his regular stuff, I've got Jarring Blow equipped. You could get rid of Mako Might as well. You probably want to have this on for when you have him as a friend summon, but otherwise you probably want to get rid of it. And I think there's like the HP and Brave Attack Plus. I'm never going to use those, man. Like, Cloud never runs out of skills, so there's no point having them on. You can save 20 CP there. Anyway, that's all for Cloud. For Keiss, I do have my triple 108 C50 and the other 2 spheres that he had from before. So just basically max bravery for himself and everyone. And then here is my Rude, the triple 108 330, and these are the spheres I have for him for now, for the moment. Yeah, let's just jump in. So the LUFENIA orb for this boss requires you to let the boss take a turn but be paralyzed or otherwise incapacitated when the turn ticks by. So it's basically the same conditions as Camlonaut's event, right? So that's what we're going to be dealing with here. However, I am really thinking that we can just delay them for, not forever, but for almost forever, right? So let's just start off with a nice launch here, because we've got everyone lined up perfectly. You can DPS race the orbs down to the point where you basically don't need to pay attention to them. So what I'm going to be doing here is I will hero support I will hero support on. I kind of want to do it. Yeah, I'll hero support onto Cloud. But that will put Keiss behind Cloud like this, so only Cloud will really be able to join in the launch. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? I could actually have broken B with Keiss there. That was actually a really bad call on my part, but never mind. And obviously we're going to start off with this. And my Cloud here is going to go in with a Blade Beam, which is going to let both of them up for launch. Get some very nice delays on there. And we're pretty much just going to go launch City on these guys. That's how this is going to go down. Let's see here. Let's get some nice battery going on. Oh, we've got a free skill, so yeah, I might as well set up with the finishing touch. So we really need to create some space here for actually taking turns, because this is definitely not as good as it could be. So let me just go in here and set up on Cloud again. Okay, so we do have smash support on Cloud, but I actually really want to bring in my friend Cloud early here, and I want to create some space for us, because the orbs are going down, but they actually disappear when the HP goes below 80%, and we don't have a whole lot of turns to work with here. So I am actually going to bring in my friend Cloud. And I think I'm actually just gonna go straight in and use his burst. And I'm going to do it on B, because we'll do the most damage that way. This thing does an absolute metric fuck ton of damage, by the way. Like, in terms of burst finishers, Cloud's burst finisher is just like, I think it's the most damaging one until Tidus, like, God knows how many months down the line that is. Oh look, and they're delaying themselves, and they're putting up shields, which is extremely cute, but we don't really care about that because we're just going to blow straight through them. And I'm just going to pop Sky High. And then we're just going to spam Blade Beam and keep them delayed. And see, the orbs have gone away, so we don't need to worry about that. Meanwhile, with Cloud's burst effect up, everyone will be hitting like a truck, including Keiss, which is pretty nice. So here's where I'm actually going to go into the... I'm going to summon early. And the reason for this is because I want to set up with hero support on my friend Cloud here, because my friend Cloud can use Blade Beam and then set them both up for launching. And then Rude can just launch the other one, and it's going to be all sorts of glorious. And I have Sky High again, but I ain't gonna use that. Let's set up behind Cloud again. Meanwhile, with our Rude here, we are gonna EX, because why not? Yeah, let's just enjoy their HP evaporating. Because I know I sure as hell am. Okay, let's EX. And then with Rude, I'm gonna LD, because this is just gonna be an absolutely fat launch. And with Cloud Friend, I don't actually think I need to really use Blade Beam here. I think I can just go ahead and Finishing Touch. So we've not even got Keiss's LD yet, and we don't even have Kryl LD yet, and we're already seeing like this level of degeneracy from the launch team. So yeah, I'm all here for this. It's Materia Tactics. Just absolutely disgusting. Yeah, he pops a shield, that's, you know, really don't care about that. Oh look, we have Smash support, and we don't have a free skill. I wonder what I'm going to do. I don't need to do that. I absolutely love this team. The bosses delay themselves as well when they go below certain HP thresholds, so that's extremely convenient of them. And of course with the free skill, what else were we going to do? This is just going to be pretty much the whole fight now. Okay, so I think it's I think we can honestly burst pretty soon here. I'm gonna get ready to go into burst. Let's do a hero support onto Cloud. And then with Cloud, I'm gonna pop Spark Strike so we get the Bravery gen going from Lightning. Actually does pretty decent damage actually. And then let's do a Blade Beam to set up the launch. And we're below the 40% threshold, so we're completely fine in terms of the orb, which has gone away. The orb's only going to come back right at 30% health. And at that point it's basically going to be a DPS race because we've delayed them so much they're not even going to be able to get to take a turn paralyzed. But that's completely fine, we don't really care about that. Yeah, I could honestly use whatever skill. I'm just going to use a friggin' skill 1, why not, right? And then with Rude, let's pop the Regen Waltz. And let's LD because why the hell not? And you already know what time it is. Let's go. So we start off with the free Finishing Touch. So yeah, this is Cloud's ideal burst setup. What you want to do is you want to go into the burst directly after using his LD, so you get the free skill. So then you use a launch on the first enemy, which sets them both up for launching. So then on this enemy over here, on the opposite one, then you go in with his LD, which is going to give him another free skill. So you launch this one, and then with your free skill during the burst, then you go back into another Finishing Touch, And it's even better if you have Keiss along. I mean, just look at this nonsense. How much damage we're dealing. And then you go back over to the other target and then you use his EX to refresh the EX buff. And because it does pretty decent damage, AoE. Then you go back over here and you use another finishing touch. And then you do the burst finisher. And then the opposite target will still be set up for the launch as soon as you come out of the burst. So I'm going to use my burst finisher on A over here, which is just going to hit like a truck. I mean, we don't have an enchant, so this isn't even half of the damage it can do, and it already does 328k. So like with something like Kurasame and like an Imperial Enchanter like Kuja, or like or like Desh or something, then that thing can absolutely hit for like 500k plus damage, like before his LD boards, which is just absolutely silly. Okay, and here it's pretty much just going to be a simple matter of finishing the enemies off. So when people said that Keiss could be used in Lufenia, this is kind of what they meant. Let's go in for the LD with Rude. And then Cloud should be able to finish it off with a finishing touch. Oh no, what, are you kidding me? They're not dead? Okay, well I'll just use my Crystal 65s to finish them off then. There we go. That is going to be the Guard Scorpion Lufenia, and that's going to be my take on it. So I know I used Cloud's Burst here. You really don't need it. I just wanted to use it just to showcase like what an absolutely disgusting, destructive force it can be if you set it up properly. So obviously, one of the things you can do with this, if you are actually having problems, is you can do something like bring Lightning along, and you could bring someone like, say, even a Mid-Italian, because as long as one of the two enemies takes a turn, when it's paralyzed, it increases the counter on both of them. So you can kind of delay one target to high hell and then just kind of focus on the other one. Like, there's lots of ways you can do it, but this is going to be my approach. Absolute launch degeneracy. I freaking love it. Cloud is back, and back with a vengeance. So, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And until the next time, take care and goodbye.